guys, welcome back. This is the Above Average FPL podcast. My name's Adam, and as always, I'm joined by Baker, and we are joined by many people in the stream tonight. I wonder why that is. How are you doing, mate? You all right?
I wonder why that is. I liked it, the jazz intro. Isn't it insane that I can see Harry in the chat already, straight in there with the popcorns and the here we go, and people are waiting for it. And I've had messages from people that I haven't had messages from for ages today. Lots of messages. How you doing? Type messages all that this afternoon from so many Chelsea fans and Liverpool fans who have put in two of the biggest stinkers of performances the world's ever seen this weekend.
And they're still on their high horse.
But they've still had a better weekend than being a Spurs fan.
I was going to say, to be fair, I did chirp at Harry yesterday with a not everyone can win at the Hill Dicky with the Spurs 3-0. I chucked in a cheeky tag on the photo as well.
I see you've baited him.
Oh, of course.
I apologise, Harry.
No, exactly. There we go.
He's
straight in there. He's come back and yeah, exactly.
I didn't realise. But honestly, you start just getting these messages. Wow.
Yeah.
How is it going?
I got one a couple of weeks ago from a mate on Facebook. I don't use Facebook anymore, and I only really use it for like marketplace stuff. So, but every now and again, I'll just nip into Messenger and see if anyone said anything. I saw that. He's like, "How are you doing, mate?" I'm like, "No, I'm not speaking to you. No chance."
It's mad. It's mad. And now we're on a big break. We've got 3 game weeks, or 3 weeks, whatever it is, to the next time. And then, I mean, when we come back on FA Cup, if Liverpool win the FA Cup tie against Man City, we could be going into doubles with Liverpool, Newcastle, and Chelsea, and Arsenal.
Yeah, and they're all bad. Well, they were all bad this week.
Season's over, isn't it? Season might be over from an FPL perspective. Like, if you're thinking about like, what can we do now? I'm going to go into a double and get Malik Chow.
I mean, I didn't go that way in the end because I needed a little bit of flexibility. But yeah, I could have had him this week. Isn't it so typical? Like typical when we were talking about the. Did I mention this on the pod or pre-pod where Solio last week was initially just like suggesting a -8, which included.
I asked you what the -8 was because you've been saying it in the chat that you talked about -8, and I was like, what? Because you then, by the time we got to the pod, you'd sort of gone away from it, and I asked, I said, what was the -8? And I remember you said something about Brighton, but I didn't remember which Brighton guys it was. Who was it?
It was Van Heck, Palmer, and Welbeck with a 3.
Which would have paid.
Yeah, it would have paid. Definitely would have paid. And then Johnny comes on and says, get Strauch. He cleaned.
And this is why Celio's the best, because Johnny told me get Gordon, not Palmer, and that'd have been an extra 8 points.
Yeah. I mean,
so everything that Johnny said,
I told you not to get Tottenham players, but you didn't listen to me on that one.
Oh, I've no regrets on the Tottenham players. I've no regrets on the Tottenham players. I don't even have a lot of regret. It's on the Palmer move, to be fair. Well, we'll talk about that.
I still think it's fine. I still think like before the game, like if anyone said they saw 3-0 to Everton and 3-0 to Forest before the game week, I mean, sure. I mean, like the 3-0 to Forest is probably more likely, but I don't think.
And 2-1 Sunderland.
And 2-1 Sunderland. Yeah, exactly.
And 2-1 Brighton. I don't think many people would have gone with it either.
No. That was so. Yeah, that's the week. I mean, look, we actually did okay in the week. Like, to be fair, we did okay. There was no damage.
I don't know if anyone got damaged really, did they? Because basically, João Pedro. It was what that when we did so for the Patreon people, they know about this, but we do. Basically, everyone just jumps on Discord at deadline and chats through their moves. You know, sometimes we're there, sometimes we're not there. Most of the time, we'll pop in at least, and especially on a Friday, that makes it perfect. So we popped in. But I hadn't really realised till I went on it. I was talking with Craig then, and he was like, Haaland can't hurt you this week. I was like, yeah, he can't. Who can hurt me? And then we were trying to work it through, and I was like, really? There's only João Pedro that can hurt anyone. Most people haven't got João Pedro, and when it refreshed and you saw them like Gordon today was like the biggest pain, but realistically, even a 10 pointer on a 35% guy doesn't absolutely make or break your week.
No.
But yeah, as soon as João Pedro blanked, I think everybody was sort of mark safe, and it was like, I don't know, do a poll, see what percentage of people had green arrows, but I bet you it's pretty high.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone is tuning in because they all had green arrows. They're not tuning in because Tottenham are an absolute disaster.
Probably a bit of both. Probably a bit of both.
I think it's a lot of one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I switched off with like 10 minutes to go, but in fact, actually, I think it was when I said I'm done. I sent the message I'm done, and then I jumped in the car, and as I was reversing out my drive, you sent one more fuck off, and I was like, oh, we conceded again, and yeah, we actually conceded again.
Yeah.
So. Yep, poll is in the chat. What colour was your arrow this week? Was it green or was it red? Was it red? Let us know. Let us know how you got on this week.
We've only got 8 games. Let's just get them done and get out.
Sounds good. Sounds good. As always, guys, though, if you do enjoy the content, please do drop a like on a video. If you want to see more from us, do hit subscribe. Shout out to Crypto Block Dan Hybel, as always, for supporting us on the podcast. If you need some advice on Web3, crypto, the blockchain, anything like that, then please head over to hubble.social/Dan Hybel, and he will give you all the advice that you need. He is a bona fide expert in that area. Wonderful guy, really nice guy, and give him a shout. We must also say thank you very much to our patrons. You can join us at patreon.com/AboveAverageFPL. Baker's already mentioned we do our sort of deadline Discord stream where we all jump on. I think we had a record like 16 people on, which was absolutely insane. I did almost think actually maybe we needed a second room to avoid too many voices and allow other people to talk. But we'll cross that bridge in game week 32 if we need to do that. But obviously it was a big game week this week. Beat Baker's done for the month. 180 points for yourself. You'll be doing that draw tomorrow morning, I presume, something like that.
At some point.
Yep.
I think I've got a little while. You know, it's not even the end of the month, another week or so.
It's true. So we've also got the games as always. We've got Last Man Standing and Beat Baker. We've got FPL Blackjack, which is going to end pretty quickly because the dealer got 21 points this week. So, most people are out. A couple of people managed to get 21 points as well. So there'll be 3 of them in the next week, I think. But I'll double check that after the pod. But again, patreon.com/AboveAverageFPL, or if you're watching on a TV, which like 20% of people do, then the QR code is on the screen. Scan it with your phone. Get involved. It's good fun. These are our weeks. So, 56 points for myself. Dubravka, Virgil, Alderete and Anderson, and then I brought in James Hill right at the end. So if anyone's wondering why James Hill got minus points, it's because I brought him in. Standard Adam luck just there. Captain Wilson, 18 points. Tavernier, Bruno Fernandes, and somebody else, 8 points there. Calvert-Lewin, 2 points, and Thiago with some DEFCON to get me 4 points. So 56 overall. That's it. I mean, small green arrow, I'll take it. I'm like my third peak OR at the moment. So we take it, we move.
I got 61. Neither of us, as I said, made decent transfers. Yeah. It would have been a 69 if I'd gone Gordon instead of Palmer. Verbruggen 3 points. Lovely defense of Romero, Anderson, and Virgil getting absolutely sweet. All. I had the Bruno cap and then Wilson Vice. 6 points from Rodgers. Thank you very much, Morgan. We needed that. Even Morgan Rodgers, when he gets 6 points, you still feel disappointed because he missed a shot on the line. No keeper. I'll just smack it at Mavropanos' head instead.
Yep.
Absolute wimp of Hugo Ekitike. I hate you. You have definitely been added to the hate list. Yeah, we're over.
We're
61
we're
points.
done. JC's dropped in the chat saying, I forgot to take a -8 for Welbeck. I did. We've already mentioned that, JC. Yeah, we've given you your flowers for that. Don't worry about that. And then over in the mini leagues, Henry's still top. He's down, unfortunately, down to 21st in the world. 3 red arrows in a row. It's tough period. Captain Wilson, 58 points, 2014. Roy still in second, 1,946. Robert Hodges in third, 1,933. Kieran Scully back up into the top 5, 1,922. And Pete W down to fifth, 1,918. And then the Public League, Henry's obviously top of that still, but only by 6 points from Tom Turner, who's still there. I mean, these top 4 been around for a while. Tom on 2008, Magnus Williams 1,994 in third, Vienna Picks 1,974 in fourth, and Steve Tassigny with a big old 71 points this week, up to fifth, 1,973. So well done to all of you guys. Well done to everyone as well. 70% of the chat are on a green arrow this week, so well done to all of you guys. We're all on a green arrow. We're all green. It's all good. It's all good.
So that should give us positives that in chip weeks or these weeks that we should all just get green arrows from here on in.
That is, yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think so. I think look, Gameweek 32 wildcard is definitely still going to be popular. I think it's going to be popular for a number of reasons. I think, but if it's popular for you right now, it's that weird world where it's although you've had a green arrow, probably most likely, there are a number of people on hate watch. It's definitely a long list of hate watch. You know what I mean? You've got people out there. If you think about the people you can just add to the list already, but you know, Bumo definitely Friday night would have probably sent a few people over. Like it's been continual pain for him. Ekatike is definitely getting himself added to those lists. Anybody that's still got any Chelsea defence, if you've got a Sanchez, for example, or someone like that still in goal, these are all these triggers which are just definitely going to keep pushing people over and over and over. Certainly, if anyone still had Rodgers, and if he had have not got the assist at least, and then he missed that, then that definitely would have done it. But Dango obviously got benched again. It's just more and more of these guys.
I mean, there's others.
It's a weird week.
Yeah,
it's a weird week.
I mean, just a lot of Liverpool just feel a bit rubbish at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool feel rubbish.
Obviously, if you've got Fulham as well, I mean, they're obviously coming into fixtures that are, I'd say, tricky. But I saw.
How do we know? How do we know now?
we don't, because obviously they've got Liverpool next week, who had an absolute stinker. They've got Villa coming up, who, well, to be fair, they were pretty tight today. Actually, they were pretty good defensively. We'll talk about that. But yeah, still Fulham, just challenging fixtures.
If Fulham beat Liverpool, there's 2 points between them. Isn't it? Absurd. So a lot of us have, got Fulham and think of them as the fixture ticker currently shows them as a red for next week, but there's 2 points between them if they beat Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah. Ciao, Tav. Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to start on Bournemouth, but Tav.
Let's start with them. Let's
go there. First of all, shout out to Sir Talp for fixing the XG plots last minute. Realised with like 2 hours to go to the pod that they weren't there. Quick turnaround. So thank you very much, my friend, as always. So Bournemouth 2, Manchester United 2. This game frustrated me. Not least because obviously, I mean, look, I went and basically pinned to the mast my thoughts about like Bournemouth being so great at home, and then just immediately within 20 minutes they looked like they were struggling. Yeah, I mean, that just created so many chances early on.
Obviously, it looks even on the XG at half time because there was 2 decent sized chances for Bournemouth. But I thought Man United were incredible in that first half. Like they just beat them up. And Cunha and Bruno they're just on. on right now. But second half, it, before the penalty, obviously there is one shot there, but I didn't feel that way. I felt that they were really struggling a bit, Man United second half. I thought Bournemouth were right back in on the game. Then was it Jimenez did the first pull on Cunha?
Yes.
Just so stupid because they'd ridden the storm out in the first half and they were just so back in the game. And then give away a stupid pen.
Probably should give away a second stupid pen as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think we haven't done a huge amount of VAR ranting and ref ranting. Well, we've probably done a little bit, but not as much as we probably used to at times because we're just all so used to it now. Like in the game, we were chatting and we were like, "Is that just that?" It's because the position of the ref, wasn't it? It's almost the camera angle that the ref just so is right there.
He was on it. He was literally standing next to it. He was 3 yards away, and he was like, "Well, they're not going to tell. Like, what are they going to tell him? Like, what? Oh, by the way, from 3 yards, you haven't seen exactly what you've just seen, right?" And so I think there's a couple of interesting bits here. Obviously, like Carrick's interview was good, and he was like, "Well, one of them's wrong, right? One of them's wrong. Either we should have had none or we should have had two. Like they're both the same thing. Well, they're not the same, but they're both something like that." Now, also interestingly, obviously, like whoever it was, the PGMOL or whatever, have said like they were consistent in. Was it Dale that did it? It was like we're consistent in like neither of these in any of the
gives
three.
You the old. Oh no, VAR was right.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is technically true.
Yeah.
On the remit, and actually, isn't it? The thing that we should talk about more is that nobody wants this remit. Nobody wants this remit. We actually either want. We thought we wanted a clear and obvious remit, but we don't. We either just want absolutely nothing and just kick it in the bin, never see it again, never speak of it, pretend it never happened. Asterix every season, including this one. And
it's a bit harsh on City when they win it.
Oh yeah, a bit harsh on City. Or we just want the right decision.
That's all. I think that's ultimately all we really want is the right decision.
Seems nuts. It does come back. Do you remember that first season where it came in? It was like, why don't we just send the ref to the monitor more often and say, "Are you sure, mate?"
Yeah.
And I still think it's that. Are you sure, mate?
Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, look, we've got. Let's talk about it from our picks perspective, because we are now going into potentially some double seasons and all of that stuff. Is don't get fancy on wild card and start saying I'm not going to have Bruno. And I still think we've said it, repeatedly. Cunha is definitely a pick. His baseline is pretty high. Like we're talking mid to late teens. If he scores, he might not still get a free bonus, but he'll definitely be in the conversation. But he just looks so on his game at the moment. And for me, from an FPL perspective, like I've never been more thankful to a player as I was to Friday night to Brian, good old Brian Bumo, because he did everything I could possibly want from him as a man that didn't own Bournemouth assets and that didn't own him, because he was about 25% owned. And what he did is this world where he didn't get deep enough to cause Hill or Senesi enough problems, which means that they get no DEFCON. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. While Brian's up top, you get no DEFCON. It's worth noting that for future, if he's going to be playing up there, your centre-backs ain't getting DEFCON against him because he ain't going to be up there. He's going to fuck off out wide and do lots of weird stuff. And then, what happened quite often was that Bruno went into that sort of almost false 9 position. And again, you ain't getting DEFCON from him because he won't lose the ball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Bumo absolutely screwed Hill and Senesi over because they didn't get anywhere near it, did they? I think he ended up with 4 Senesi.
Yeah, something ridiculous.
Yeah, he it's not right. you've got this guy. It's like just a weird profile fit, isn't it? You've got this guy that's just a really good transitional wide guy, but Ahmad's also there, and Ahmad's a bit quicker, and they need some pace because they haven't actually got a huge amount of pace in the rest of the team. So you need to play him.
Yeah, I mean, look, I like the Cunha pick on a wild card, and I think what's good about him is he's expensive enough that once
Mm,
Dorgu is back, if you need to move him on because obviously he impacts his output, then you can go to pretty much any player that you want. Like
anybody want.
there's not too many in that sort of upper echelon that you
No.
want to get to. Plus, while Salah and Haaland are doing jack shit, although you probably will have one of them because one of them will double.
Mm.
You're not going to need to spend all that money. So yeah, that's kind of nice. I like that.
It's still full open play stuff though, isn't it? Like he's got no set pieces now. Like it's not like at Wolves where he took the odd corners and you've be on the pens and do that stuff. He is pure open play. But then
But then you've got Bruno
the,
for that, right? It's not like covering, but you've got Bruno for that reason. Like you've got United covered from a set piece perspective.
yeah. But that doesn't mean you have to have two of them, does it? It doesn't mean you have to have two of them.
No,
But I certainly like it. I'd certainly be still interested in one on wildcard. Um, like I'd have him, for example, Cunha over say Enzo, even if he's got a double at a similar price,
yeah, okay,
because I think you can just be happy with him for the rest of the season. Um, Cunha and Bruno just might be a pair that you just get. From a Bournemouth perspective, you just need to wait and see if you get a double out of them or not, don't you?
yeah, yeah. I mean, Tav's so cheap. Like it's just so typical. Like he picks up like 3 xg in 3 games that I have him, and then he gets the pen, and then he doesn't actually take the pen. It's like that's wild because Croupier's only been on the pitch for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that. Just comes on. I mean, he scored every penalty he's ever taken.
Mm.
So like, why wouldn't he be the penalty taker? But
Yeah, I guess if you're not wildcarding and not you are free hitting in 34, I think there's a strong argument to say sell Bournemouth. Because if you want to go through away Arsenal and away Newcastle, especially if they don't double, for example, and that, then you're like the fixtures out the back of it are not good enough to say you want to keep them. But you have to wait. You have to wait on the door.
yeah, that's all. I think that's all now. That's all of it.
Yeah. Another picks.
Cool. Okay. Our friend from Forest Focus has joined. He said we got the wrong game, so I guess we can go on to that game.
You want to do that now?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll do that, and then we'll go back to Fulham, just because we do have Sir Harry on the thumbnail.
I remember when we had a Sir Harry. They were the days.
God, yeah, they were the days. It's fun. You know, did you see? Obviously, he scores the goal in midweek in the Champions League, and I saw Andy Mears posted and saying it's amazing. People are talking about him being the best player in the world. I'm like, yeah, it's been like that for 10 years. But I was going to say that, but the replies were just filled with that. We're like, Spurs fans have been saying this forever, for literally ever. He's just ridiculous. Unfortunately, he's not here, and we can't score goals. So, what did you make of this?
I mean, it was so odd that first half because I don't think you rarely see a team, and I certainly haven't seen a Tottenham team as in control as we were for the whole of that first half. Is we were all there. It was there to be had. We just could have scored as many as we wanted if we had players that could score goals and players that wanted to create chances. But it was almost like it was just such a boring pace almost to an extent. It was almost like we're just going through the motions type thing in that first half. And Forest almost were letting us do that in that first half. But like we were in complete control of the match. And
Yeah.
then with 2 minutes to go, I think the thing is, as much as so we can try as Tottenham fans to be like, we'll do this whole parade, we'll do this whole thing, we'll do all of it, we'll give you all of it. But we've been so beaten that there's not a Spurs fan alive that when that corner was given on the 43rd or 44th minute, didn't think exactly what was going to happen. Like, you knew it was coming. You just knew it.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Yeah, yes and no. I mean, I think in the last 6, 8 months, I think we've been better at that a little bit.
It's just the
But
time.
but
Just the
we knew
time.
we
Like,
knew under we knew playing under Ange and even I mean years before that, Nuno, Mourinho, Conte, all of them. We were always so naive in the last like 5 minutes of a half. Always terrible, and
just the whole thing. Like I mean, even just Vicario doesn't even need to tip that over. It's either going over or you just catch it. Like that gives away the corner, but it's just so crappy. Crappy. And it's just that standard, like just unprofessionalism. Even if you think about the Vicario thing, so if you take David Moyes this season, like you can't get blood out of a stone for him for injuries this season. You can't get nothing. We come out and tell a team that we're about to have what team that's about to have a 6-pointer would say, by the way, if you elbow the keeper, he's probably going to suffer for that. And you don't even have to elbow him. Like if you were Forest beforehand, you'd be like, make him work, make him work, just keep making him work, and he probably will not come for the crosses because they've literally just told us he's having an operation on a hernia tomorrow. That's how like idiotic. Every week you're like, how more stupid, how more unprofessional can this football club be? And it's like, we'll find a new way. We'll tell them our keeper is injured.
yeah.
So it's
It's going to be on Billy
again,
T. It's going to be on Billy T's TikTok this week. That will, won't it? Has to be.
because the first thing you would do is if the keeper's injured, is you'd put all the set pieces to the back post.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guess what? Put one to the back post, header goes in.
Yeah.
First, decent opportunity in anger. Look at it. What that 0.1 xg up to that point in the whole entire half. It's beyond. And then you're like, right, okay. Well, instead of going after him, and you're like, yeah, so we were the better team, but now we've done something stupid. But if you just keep being the better team, you're still in this game. Nah.
2 changes at half time.
2 changes half time.
Just completely change
I've got a
shape,
bench.
change everything.
It's almost like,
first time.
I've got a bench. I can use them.
It's
This
like
is what that bench is for.
it's like when people use transfers in FPL and it never goes well. All right, I should roll.
Just,
2 transfers would be good. I'll take a hit this week.
it's just the most. It's just the most appallingly run club, and everyone like will continually talk about, is you want to have this good tactics guy, you want to have this good guy. You just need somebody in this football club that understands normality. Honestly, like we should go and get someone like Will Still, who's the old like played football manager for years, because at least he's seen all the stupid stuff that can happen if you play football manager. He's seen all those stupid news stories and stuff. He'd be like, oh, I think this doesn't work out well. Like, or just get someone that's good at football manager, put them in. Anybody, any rational person you could put in, and they would do a better job than this guy. Like, how anybody in the whole organization. That's why, like, all of us talk about burn it down, fold the club. We talk all those stuff. Like we use those words because everything from head to toe is shambolic.
Mm.
On a flip side for Forest, I mean, Milenkovic was just a monster. Sells obviously was king of the world.
I haven't got anything else to add. I haven't got anything else to add really. I mean, like the movement for I thought Pape Sarr was horrific, like all game. just as point out, I don't want to point out too many individuals, but the move for Forest's goal, the Gibbs White one, was so good that you just got completely caught ball watching, and it's exactly where you need your number 10 to arrive in the box, right? If you've got a guy that can take players on, like Hudson-Odoi does, and you've got a number 10 who's aware of what is going on around him. Again, it's another one of those. Even when you shoot directly at Vicario,
even when you do the worst possible shot you possibly could have done at that moment, you'll still score against Tottenham.
But it was low, so he has to go down and he has to work. He has to do something,
which they probably thought about because they told him he had a fucking hernia.
Yes, exactly. And look, I mean, whilst the game midweek was nice, to not actually lose and actually win a game. My belief in this game, I had very little belief going into this game, and I think that reflected in the transfer I made last week. It reflected in me saying I didn't think Tottenham players were good picks this week and all this sort of stuff, and it kind of just played out as kind of how I expected. So, I can't
do that.
I know you can't, but I've almost.
I just don't understand how you could live that way. It came back again now. I told you about this last week, but I've got a tick here. And it's came back this afternoon. A tick. That's what Tottenham does. It's like a weird little tick. Because I can't think about anything else. This is the worst season of the entire life. I'll think about Tottenham this next 3 weeks. I'll think about Tottenham for about 12 hours a day for 3 weeks. Can't do anything else. Looking for something that might make me okay.
Well, who have we got next week? Sunderland away.
Sunderland away, but West Ham at home to Wolves on the Friday night.
Perfect. Game. So we could be relegation zone by the time we play.
Yep.
Incredible. Look, fair play to Forest. I mean, they were good. They did what they needed to do, and we were just crap. So we'll move on. Let's talk about Harry Wilson.
I mean, look, to be. Yeah, to have they've done exactly what is a perfect away performance, because as much as we can say is, if you think about it, they knew they were walking into Tottenham trying to get some impetus into that game. The team were trying to get to it. They knew they had a hold. They knew they just had to hold. They played the midfielders the midfielders just kicked the crap out of us. Like, Archie Gray's been our absolute shining light, and they just did whatever they could to just boot the crap out of him. And I would have done exactly the same if I was Forest. Can't blame them for doing it. They know that if you stay in the game long enough with Tottenham, you make it physical, we'll struggle. And that's exactly what happened.
Fulham Burnley. So Burnley have been quite plucky these last few weeks, and they do create some chances. Fleming keeps popping up and scoring goals.
Did you talk about him last week? Was it you mentioned?
I've mentioned him a few times this season at some point. I think maybe it was last week. Because, he's
a wild card option. Fleming's a wild card option.
Brighton, Forest, they have got City, double. So double. Then Leeds, Villa at home, Arsenal 37. I mean, by 37 it probably doesn't matter.
But he's an eighth attacker.
Yeah.
With a double on a bench boost.
He's definitely been more effective than Mane for Wolves. I mean, I would have said that Mane would have been a good option. I mean, Wolves' fixtures are great as well, but they didn't play this week because of they played Arsenal in 26. But yeah, I think he's a reasonable option because he feels like a very much like an out and out number 9, right? In what is a team that, do what they can to get the ball forward to their number 9 as much as possible. and he's willing to chase and he's willing to run. He's good in the air. Like, he's not a bad striker, to be fair. So you could do worse.
You do feel like he's going to get booked every game because he does try to kill people at every opportunity.
Yeah, but that's the school. We've said. I think I've said this before as well. This is like the school of Ashley Barnes. It's like this is what you play alongside Ashley Barnes even now when he's like 35 or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of how you got to look after yourself at training and stuff. You just toughen up a little bit with players like him. But still, I mean, like Fulham obviously like class shine through in the end. They obviously get the very late penalty. Josh King was great, did really well. Wilson's goal was, I mean, just interesting from a like I think he can get a lot of success trying that against Liverpool. Like, because the one player that's not going to be there is like Kirkes. Like, he just won't be there. It's just be the other end of the pitch. So, you know, I
could get another Van Dijk photo moment. Is what you're saying? Turning his bum on it.
Turning his bum on it. Yeah,
gets done.
That's exactly
it. Gets done in the near post.
That is exactly it.
Yeah, I mean Wilson had 6 shots. Not, I mean, very little XG, but he takes a lot of shots early. Like they did a good job, really. Like obviously at the end of it, it's going to look really bad, the XG, but you give away a penalty and you give away another chance in injury time, then that once the game's effectively, you're trying to chase it and you've only got 10 men. But they were very much in the game for they go ahead. They go ahead in the second half. Like that, if you ask most people, what do you think the score will be after 60 minutes? I don't think many people would have gone 1-0 Burnley.
No.
But we had Muniz start, which just means the whole Muniz, Jimenez stuff. Like, but Wilson, I mean, despite the fact obviously they won't double, despite the fact that the fixtures are now they look poor, really, in terms of the fixtures. Like, again, if you wildcard in 32, I'm really struggling that people will have Harry Wilson in their team if they wildcard in 32. I think it would be like one of the first guys that people take out. And I'm a little bit like, am I ready to do that? And I don't know, the answer is yes. Like, if you think about, like, for example, like, so if you take, for example, people have just mentioned Cunha, Wilson as midfielders. Yeah? These are guys that are not going to double in 33. You can't have 2 midfield spots with the likes of Wilson and Cunha. Wilson, Cunha and Bruno as 3 and 5 midfielders when there's a double in 33. It's that part of it. When I look at that, I'm like, maybe the free hit 33 gets an uptick.
Yeah.
Gets an uptick from what we're seeing at the moment. Because Wilson's still scoring points and still looks like he will score points.
Yeah. And they say, you'll go away Liverpool, you can free hit him out, then he'll be home to Villa.
Yep.
Like, Arsenal 35, okay, whatever, but that's fine. And then Bournemouth, Wolves, Newcastle at home last day. Yeah, I mean, it's just...
Whilst chasing Europe.
Yeah.
And chasing a move.
Yes. Yeah,
chasing a move,
Man wants to get paid.
Europe.
Like, because Man's going to get paid, isn't he? He's going to get...
Man wants to get... It feels wrong to take out Harry Wilson.
Yeah.
I would feel very uneasy over it. But I also think if I wildcarded 32, I don't think I'd have him.
Would you be eating Anderson out straight away as well?
Oh, yeah. Just don't trust him on. Like Leno had a really good game.
Mm.
You know,
Anderson.
No,
that's fair. Anything else from this one? I think we've covered pretty much it.
For you've got Anderson still, haven't you?
I've got Anderson. Yeah, I've got Anderson.
And you've not got wild card. You just keep him.
Just keep him.
You can roll him out in a game.
Just keep him. 4 points is fine.
And potentially those last 3 when it might be all on the line.
Yeah, it's all fine. It's all fine. Let's go to Brighton Liverpool. Definitely wasn't a red card in this game. Brighton Liverpool. So I put the paddle on this one because really, I think a lot of other providers had Brighton well above 3 XG. And I think that's, whilst I'm not going to question the data that we have, like it definitely felt like Brighton were just on top the entire game. All over them the entire game. But, the only time that... they made one mistake, right? They made one mistake, and I don't think it's one of those where Dunk has done what he thought was the right thing to do, which I think in 99 times out of 100 it probably is. And on this occasion, the left backs just come flying around the back of him, anticipating something, and he scored a good goal. But yeah, I think outside of that though, there's
Liverpool are just poor. They're poor. Like it is yeah. If you are a Liverpool fan, I think like they're incredibly loyal to managers. Incredibly loyal to managers. But there can't be a Liverpool fan that still thinks Slot's the right man. There just can't be. The football is rubbish. The profile of stuff, like how you're, it's it's just not right. Like, and when your striker goes off with a dead leg in 8 minutes, and then like Slot's outed him, isn't he? He could play tomorrow. Like he knows he's wimped out, but it's because they're not. They don't care. They don't care for him.
yeah,
Which is mad, isn't it? It's a team that won the league. It seems so bizarre, but Szoboszlai gets about what does he get 17, 18 def cons he got in the end. Well, it's because he's mostly right back, but he's not quite right back. It's like, which one are you? Like who is the right? Like you look at the heat maps and tell me which one's actually the right back out of Frimpong and Szoboszlai. It's hard.
Yeah. Both
It's hard.
very similar.
But, Frimpong just suddenly appears in the final third. Whereas Szoboszlai never appears in the final third.
As soon as Ekitike goes off though, and you replace him with what's essentially a left 10, like that completely changes everything though, because then you basically have no width. That they just had no width whatsoever when Ekitike goes off. But then even then, you don't really want Ekitike in that sort of right hand side. Like without Salah, there was just a complete loss of balance. Like Rio should have probably just started from the start. Or
can't get anywhere. Like you look at the touches from Wirtz and Szoboszlai. Like these are ballers. Like they didn't get them into the final third at any moment.
Yeah, they didn't get into the box at all.
But this consistently happens. You'll see people like Gravenberch and McAllister. Like McAllister's operating higher up than Wirtz and Szoboszlai. It's not right.
It should be the other way around. It should be Gravenberch and McAllister sitting behind Szoboszlai and Wirtz.
Like McAllister's one of those. McAllister's one of those where you're like, you don't really want him touching the ball. You want him arriving onto the ball.
Yeah. So you'd like to see a heat touch map where he has it on like the halfway line, and then you want nothing in front of it, and then you just want some spots in the box.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
That's what you want.
Because that's the type of guy he is. Instead, we played him in the 10, and actually he's the only person touching the ball in the final third. And then Wirtz and Szoboszlai don't touch the ball in the final third.
Yeah. So
if you haven't got pace and width, and then you take away the intricacy from the middle, what do you expect to happen? But they've got the guys. They've got them. They spent 400 million quid on them. Like they've got them. Then people say, "Oh, they've got some injury." They haven't. Not really. Yeah, if you played Gakpo centre forward, if Ekitike had gone and you said, "I'm going to play Gakpo there, I'm going to play Wirtz and Szoboszlai around him as a left and right wing," Be fine. It'd be more than fine. Be incredible. Virtually every club in the league would say, if you could give me a front three of Szoboszlai, Gakpo, and Wirtz, would you take it? You say yeah.
Yeah.
It's a £300 million front line if you were buying it tomorrow. As much as everyone moans about Gakpo, it's still the case that it's three internationals that all play in the front three for their national teams. All play in the front three for their national teams. Not like it's weird positions. It's they don't care for him.
No. And look, I mean, like Brighton had a pretty steely midfield here. Like if you think they got you basically Pascal Gross and James Milner, just like no nonsense, just rock solid workhorses, and Hinchelwood's he's just like a buzzing bee. He's just everywhere. He was just
growing
everywhere.
Hinchelwood. Like he's obviously a utility guy who can play just about everywhere, but he's growing and growing. He's cheap if you fancy using him because he'll play like in a double. He'll definitely play both in the double. Where he plays, who knows?
Double with Chelsea and Spurs sounds fantastic right now.
Yeah, it looks all right at the moment.
They've got Burnley next week. Like, I mean, obviously this is why people are going to be like all over Welbeck for 32 wild card, and I get that 100%. If you're free hitting 34 though, like if you're free hitting 33, maybe not.
Brighton looked like they were really sliding. Just after Christmas. They were around where we were. And you look at the teams, and it's really interesting because, like you say, they started this game with Gross and Milner in centre midfield. And on the bench, you've got Carlos Baliba, you've got Yasin Iari, you've got Karamatoma, you've got Ruta, you've got Veltman, like De Kuyper, Costulas that they've spent a lot of money on, Buscaglia they spent money on. I mean, the bench is incredibly strong. But they were like, you are in disarray, these two big pros, and Milner just goes and just, like, he knows exactly what he's doing. Like, he knows what he's doing. Like I said earlier about, the late tackle on Gray, like, that really just knocked all wind out of our sails in that first half because Gray was absolutely running that show. And they dead-legged him, and he carried on with the dead leg. He was crying at one point, but he did. But Milner knows exactly what he was doing. Who was it he elbowed? He tried elbowing someone. Szoboszlai. Elbowed Szoboszlai and gave Ekitike a dead leg in the first 6-7 minutes of the game. Know you're in a game, boys. Know you're in a game. Just did a number.
Yep.
They're chasing it. No, I didn't get booked. Because it's James Milner. You couldn't possibly book him.
They've won 4 out of the last 5 games, and the game they lost was against Arsenal. Like it's not they're in a good space right now.
Yep.
They're in a good space right now.
Gross is playing every minute, which is like I expected him to be relatively limited on minutes, but he is playing every minute. So
that pivot was 74 years old. Incredible.
I mean, he's not.
And then Danny Welbeck up front. We haven't even spoken about the celebration of his goal when he just leapfrogs dunk. 6'5".
If they double again, like Danny Welbeck you'd still go Danny Welbeck over Fleming. Spend a bit more money.
Yeah.
You would. Imagine you wild card and you get Welbeck and Fleming.
Don't need Haaland, so. Or you might. That's it. You might do if they. I mean, that's the thing. You can wait.
Yeah.
You might.
Dunk looks. The only thing about the defense when you watch it is that Dunk just looks drunk. Like it now is. It does look like the legs are gone. So Van Heck's the guy. I really like Kadioglu, but I don't like him from an FPL perspective because he's not going to get you the def gone. Van Heck will potentially score occasionally. He can. And Verbruggen's cheap. I thought I might get some bonus for Brighton at one point, but
It does.
I think
I mean, Biscagli has to be the succession plan for Dunk. Surely, like it just has to be. Like they bring him in this
yeah.
season. He was fantastic in. I think it must have been Eredivisie. I think
Mm.
he was in the Eredivisie last year, and then they brought him in. I thought he was just going to come straight in, but I guess he's just. They need to make sure they've got a captain. I guess,
Yeah.
and maybe like
Yeah.
Van Hex fill in that role anyway. So no, I mean I like at least two of these guys on wild card. Um,
The big thing for us is going to be if Liverpool beat Man City and then they double. Because if Liverpool beat Man City and then Liverpool double and Man City don't, but then Man City have the double, say, in 36, it's like, again, it pushes me more to think, even though I've got bugger all City and I've only got the couple Liverpool, I'm almost tempted to say I would I would free hit in 33, just do the Liverpool then and get them gone. Because after that, I just don't think I want them. I just don't think I want them.
mm,
Fixtures, like they're okay. They're not terrible, but they're not good enough. They're not good enough. Like, I don't fancy them away at Man United. Home to Chelsea, probably. Away at Villa. I don't know. I don't think I fancy them away at Man United or Villa.
yeah.
They're they're big games. They're all the games against the people that they're fighting with. But they could easily just lose them all.
Yeah.
I just don't see a world in which they can keep slot. Guess it's just whether Xabi Alonso wants to come now, isn't it?
Surely he just waits until after the World Cup. Surely. For him. Or maybe they need to put out like this the big red beacon to say come help. Maybe that's what they need.
Oh, just get Xabi now.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, I guess I mean the main thing for Liverpool I guess is weight.
JC's asking what if Liverpool got a double in 36 too. Doesn't that wouldn't they need to beat PSG for that? And again, have you seen Liverpool play?
Yeah. The team that PSG beat last round.
Yeah, I mean maybe PSG aren't that good, to be fair, because maybe it was just
Everton beat them 3-0, so
hmm,
seems to make sense.
Everton beat them up.
Yeah,
Ball
this
from
was
James
good.
Garner was so good, the first goal.
Mm.
It's just how quickly they move it. You know, if you think about like Ndiaye and Dewsbury Hall and Garner, they shift the ball quick, and all three of them can make the passes. But Dewsbury Hall and Garner in particular, they've done this all season. You know, is Beto obviously does get the brace in this game, but it's very rare that Beto would have got a brace from what 0.25 xG from those two chances. Is they've missed a huge amount of chances. So somebody at some point was going to get done, and Chelsea did. That is the three chances that they scored were all they're all reasonable enough. They felt reasonable, didn't they, at the time? But it also is. I mean, the second goal is just Sanchez, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
God, Sanchez.
He's
Jeez.
always that. He's always there to make a mistake. He's always looks like he's going to make a mistake. It's beyond ridiculous, and like talking about managers that are like under pressure. Like, does sacking Maresca look like the worst possible thing that Chelsea could have done?
Yeah, I
Seems
mean,
bizarre, doesn't it? Now,
if you think, I mean, I'll think the fact that Maresca is like favourite to take over from Pep, and you're like, they got rid of him, and if they get in, LinkedIn Liam. Um, yeah, this feels like all day you could talk about potential sackings this week, which is so mad for a game week 31 with so little time left of the season. But I think every Spurs fan in the world would, is desperately hoping to hear that Tudor is no longer with the club. Um, I think most Chelsea fans, this is the one like almost always when Chelsea sack their manager, you're always like bloody hell, not again, bloody hell, not again, all that sort of stuff. Um, but this feels one where everyone I think would just be like, oh, okay, yeah, this was coming, this was coming. Just can't you just can't see it. The only thing it, that's sort of like there's something that says to me, well, he's got a bit of time to work on it. He's talked a lot. He's talked a big game, hasn't he? He's talked a big game about the stuff that he wants to do. Um, but will he have these guys? Because they've a whole squad of internationals.
Yeah, they're not gonna be around, and like they're,
And they come
they're
straight back
also
into FA Cup.
yeah. Oh yeah. Over the next couple of weeks, then they're not going to be around. It's so difficult for Chelsea to get a tune out of the the fact that they've had to sort of change up the back line continuously over and over and over again this season, whether it be Chalobah, Badiashile, Tosin, whether it be Fafana, and obviously Hato's played this one, Gusto, Reece James. Like they've had so many players like rotating around those spots, and
But this is us as a Spurs fans. This is like when we talked for a decade about Ledley King being the best defender in the world. He's only the best defender he plays. Like it was also, if you have Ledley King in your team, you're pretty fucked because you can't sign anyone better than him, and you know you're going to be without him. Wesley Fofana has about a 20% availability rate. Like he's just never available. Cole Will's just permanently injured.
yeah,
Badiashile has played about 6 games in about 6 years. He's probably still got 4 years left of a contract. But like these players, all these players, like James, we know it just breaks all the time. Gusto's groin goes like all these guys. They've got no availability.
yeah. That is true.
If you continually have these guys that are not available, guess what? You get no cohesion in defence.
Yeah,
But I thought worse than this. I thought worse. I can't fathom. It's actually just borderline disrespectful to James Garner and Dewsbury Hall that you would play Lavia and Caicedo against them because they just you stick in two cement mixers and compared to James Garner, it's mad because they're like £200 million midfielders. But compared to James Garner, they are cement mixers. Yeah, he'll just play through you. He'll just go straight through between you. Like it just every time they got the ball, like they don't press high, Everton. They're like, we're going to sit off you, and you'll be like, there you go. Those two guys can just stand there. What are they going to do?
yeah,
You're going to get. They're not going to break you up like Lavia and Caicedo. Tweeted at first half, it felt like a crime against football to take those and play against Everton. It's stupid. You want those against like if you were playing against say Alex Scott, who was brilliant against Man United by the way, but like that sort of like guy that's going to try and push through the middle with pace at you, then I get it. But this is two artists of players in Dewsbury Hall and Garner. They're just going to stand back and wait and just pass around them, and they did. It just didn't make any sense. And obviously, I bought Cole Palmer for this game, and that first half was genuinely comedy. Is the number of times that they mess stuff up for him, I've never seen anything like it. Because obviously when you only own like one player in a game, you just sort of like tunnel vision, don't you, as points on that player. And the number of times he'd put himself in a position and then he'd be like, pass it, pass it, pass it. Oh, I've done it wrong. Oh, I've done it wrong. And then there was one moment, it was about 35 minutes in, where the ball's rolling across and it's going across the outside edge of the penalty box, and he's queued up to shoot. He's just going to bang it 20 yards out. And just at the last minute, I don't even know who it was, but one of the other, I think it was Neto, just suddenly put his foot out and stopped the ball just before he was swinging. And I honestly, I thought he was going to hit him. I genuinely thought he was going to hit him. It was close. Is if anyone can go and see the full game, try and find it. But after that moment, he just looked like I just don't want to be here. Like he wants out. He hates the lot of them. I genuinely think Cole Palmer will ask for transfer this summer. There's all the rumours in there. They wants to go back up north. That Man United might be putting in a big bid and all those sort of things. I think he's absolutely hating life with them.
I mean, he wants something where they'll almost build the team around him and such. And I think he wants somewhere where he is going to be the big guy. And the problem is with Chelsea is they just keep spending 100 million on another player and then 100 million on another player, and it's just like once you've spent £1 billion, the young guy that you bought from City doesn't feel so special anymore. And it is a case of, I just think he wants to feel special.
It's a bit always about defence, by the way. There's no like sort of chemistry. That's exactly it's how it felt with them up front. You don't know exactly who's going to play the wings and where they're going to play.
He must have been pissed obviously Madueke leaves. Like him and Madueke had a good relationship last year. Like that, you take that away, and you're left with Esteval and Neto, who are just like, I mean, Esteval's obviously injured as well, but they're more interested in themselves.
Yeah, the thing with Madueke and Palmer, I used to think almost at times like Madueke was bad for Palmer, but it was almost like a Mane and Salah relationship in that they were both going to do their own thing, but they at least respected each other's abilities and they knew the stuff. And it was like, okay, he's not going to pass to me when he goes out wide. He's just going to try and cut in and score. So I'll just come back and I'll either play for the rebound or you never know, he might cut back occasionally, but that's how it'll work, and at least, whereas I just feel like it was like, I don't think I know what they're going to do. There was one incredible touch he did in the first half where I think it played through João Pedro, but it was just like he looked so on it. In that first 25 minutes, I was like, boy, I've bought Cole Palmer, and there's zero chance whatsoever that I will sell him before the end of this game, before game week 38 finishes. He will be in my team 100% of the time from here on in. And then by the second half, I was like, problem is, if everyone else is the problem, he's just a little island sitting in the middle trying to do some stuff. And he's just too fancy almost to an extent for what they are. Again, if they, tell LinkedIn Liam to get himself back on the LinkedIn, as it were, then
just imagine his face coming up with that green "Open to Work" banner that's on LinkedIn.
Yeah, everybody's mutual. Yeah.
I mean, look, FF. I mean, like we've spoken a lot about Chelsea. I mean, I guess the main things around Everton, you've already said, around Dewsbury Hall and Garner being phenomenal. Obviously, and Dye's finish was great as well. That was, from somebody who bans Ndiaye in every solve possible. Whenever I'm looking at something, it's always frustrating when he actually scores a goal. But no, it's a good finish. And look, I think I don't want to say Beto's going to go on a run, but at some point he was going to grab a couple of goals, and good for him. First finish especially was great.
You cannot triple up on Chelsea for that double. You can't. That's what I will say. People don't think about it. I mean, people will. You'll buy Pedro, Palmer, and Enzo, won't you? That's the three that people will buy. But you put 3-year attack on those guys. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And for Everton, I just don't think you can buy them. Brentford away next, then Liverpool at home. No doubles.
Yeah, then City.
Yeah, you've got a fabulous season. See you next season.
Yeah. Okay. Villa West Ham.
Well, I'm assuming neither of us watched at this at all, other than some highlights.
No, yeah. So I watched extended highlights. So I mean, obviously, Villa were fantastic. Like McGinn, I mean, it makes a huge difference. Just in the general way, it's weird actually because you see McGinn's name here because he scores, but I think even if he doesn't score, he's the whole reason like the midfield works, and that they found themselves. So Watkins and Rodgers found themselves one-on-one with the defence between that line so many times, and that's exactly where you want those two guys to be. Sancho as well, like any one of those three running at the defence. And to be honest, this should have been about 6-0. Mavropanos was absolutely unbelievable. He made 2 or 3 massive tackles, blocks, whatever. Obviously, he gets the penalty that was
Rodgers
overturned.
off the line.
Rodgers off the line, everything. He was monstrous.
I didn't know. So I went to the pub to watch football, and it has multiple screens. So I say this, I didn't have it, but so Tottenham's there, and it's literally there. So I'm sort of corner mile watching it, but I've got no sound on that game. So can you explain to me the penalty shout? I can't really work it out because they didn't give the penalty, did they?
No. So no. So
and then they showed the replay, and you were like, "Oh, just move on." But you were like everyone who's in the pub can't hear it. They're just looking at it. They're like, "Well, that's not a penalty. That's not a penalty." And then suddenly the guy goes to the screen. You're like, "I don't understand what's going on because it's not a penalty."
Yeah. So the tackles happened. Then about 3 or 4 different shots have taken place. It's ended up in the keeper's hands or over the bar or something. And then Tierney gives, I think it was Tierney. Was it Tierney? I think it was Tierney. Gives the penalty. So he actually gives the penalty.
Oh, that's why. So he went to the screen to overturn it.
Yes, because what he thinks he's seen is he's obviously. I don't know what quite he thought Watkins did with the ball to mean that Mavropanos didn't get the ball. Because Watkins is going that way and the ball goes that way. And it's like, well, he's clearly, and it's gone at pace as well. So he's clearly just kicked it. Like, it's a great tackle. It's an unbelievable tackle.
Yeah, it's great.
But yeah, I mean, like, Watkins and Rodgers could have had plenty. I think Rodgers had one for Watkins earlier on in the first half as well. Obviously, the set piece that McGinn scores from is just a thing of beauty. It's a set piece that actually looks nice. Like, none of this crowding around, making it hassle for keeper nonsense in the 6-yard box. This was like a well worked short free kick, or short corner, short free kick that ended up with McGinn just on his own and just guides it in. So, look,
shot volume's wild, isn't it?
Villa, they had so many shots. Hermanson was very, very busy. They had a few. Anana had a couple of headers wide. I mean, there was Luca Digne had a great couple of shots, I think, as well. Like, they were all over.
And it's multiple shots. It's Rodgers and Watkins show. It's like just constant back to basics. I mean, Emery's a really good manager. Like, it is that they've been pretty bad for the last few months, and you see that and you go, right, 5 shots from Watkins, 4 shots from Rodgers. No mess around. Give it to those two. Let them do their stuff. That is interesting because I just naturally assumed that I'm selling Rodgers next game week, but maybe he'll suck me in again and I'll keep him for 4 more blanks.
Don't know. Forrest good.
I need it. I need him. I need him.
No, I mean, like, they were great. They were really, really good in this game. And as I say, they could have been. It probably could have been 4-5. But yeah, a bit of wastefulness, but some good saves, and Mavropanos, as I say, was unbelievable. I mean, like, you're not picking West Ham players; they still look a bit.
People are still picking Bowen, aren't they? They're going to pick Bowen. You know, Ekatike to Bowen will be popular. It will be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Bowen will be on wild cards.
It is because like, yeah, because they may double, right? So they may double, but then
yeah, I mean,
but then if you're free hitting in the double, then I wouldn't bother at all.
Yeah, well, if they blank in 34, you won't definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
But people will see Friday night Wolves.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yep. Okay. I say I watched the highlights, but it was enough from those guys. We'll go Newcastle Sunderland next. Sunderland officially have the upper hand in the league record, something like 44 wins in this fixture versus Newcastle's 43.
I mean, fair play to Sunderland because that their first half, obviously they give away the goal
Yeah, yeah.
and just give Gordon a goal in 10 minutes.
That was so bizarre.
And then I don't want to say it's a nothing because it looks like a nothing. But I really did feel that Newcastle were the team on top in that first half. I thought it was almost a matter of time before they got in again. And then when it came out second half, I still felt like it was much more likely there was going to be a second goal for Newcastle. And then just suddenly it did. I think the sort of switch flipped before Chow went off. So I don't want to say that it was all the fact that Botman went off, because I think it was starting to happen. It was just starting to be a bit where you were like, okay, they're starting to get themselves back into this. And I thought they were really, really worthy of the point. I thought at times they really did have Newcastle on the ropes in that second half. I definitely don't begrudge them that winner. I thought I was pretty impressed with that second half from Sunderland.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, similar to you. I think the nature of the first goal just it just feels like it feels like you've just been sucker punched because you've punched yourself in the stomach and you can't get up because you winded yourself, and they just looked lost in that first half, and the crowd was just the crowd obviously making a big difference in that first half. They just couldn't get going, and then I kind of missed bits of the second half myself, so didn't watch it all, but yeah, I mean, definitely a much improved second half from Sunderland.
Yeah, obviously Chow scores and gets disallowed.
I missed that as well. I missed that as well.
He is still the set piece threat.
Mm.
He's still the person, if you're looking for a spike, is if they double, it's going to be tempting with it. But Big Dan Burn is still the favourite of Eddie Howe, always will be. Big Dan Burn was comfortably the best on bonus for the Newcastle defenders, and he's the only guy that gets the DEFCON for it. So we all talked about Hall and Chow, and it's probably just still Dan Burn for me out of these guys, and hope that somehow he spikes something. But yeah, he wasn't, even though they conceded, so he got 20 on the BPS, even though they conceded 2. That's quite impressive for a defender. 17 DEFCON.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for them to award Elderete his 10th DEFCON. I'm still holding out hope. No, it's gone.
He got a booking.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I saw him get a booking.
Yeah.
It was a good old yank him down professional foul. But I definitely don't feel like I want players from either of these teams particularly. Even with Gordon, so obviously Gordon gets the goal, he gets all 3 bonus, but the only reason why he gets all 3 bonus is because this is a really low game for bonus.
It's also because Brobby takes his shirt off. Like if Brobby doesn't take his shirt off.
Also because Brobby takes his shirt off. Yeah.
If Brobby doesn't take his shirt off, he goes down to 2.
So in games this weekend, he would have got on the 28 BPS that he would have got 1 bonus in Bournemouth Man U. He would have got 2 bonus, to be fair to him, in Brighton Liverpool. Bear in mind, none of these got cleans. That's why. One of the reasons why is nobody gets any cleans. He would have got no bonus in the Burnley Fulham game. He would have got no bonus in the Everton Chelsea game. He would have got no bonus in Leeds Brentford because it were cleans. He would have got No bonus,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Yeah,
No
no bonus
bonus
anywhere else.
in Villa West Ham.
Yeah.
No bonus anywhere else.
No bonus
You got
anywhere
a
else.
0 bonus. But obviously he gets 3 in this because both teams score and there's no forwards on show. One of the beauties of being an out of position forward isn't just that you get when you score, then it's good, but it's actually if there's no forwards to score for you, then there's nobody hogging the bonus. That's why Robbie would have gone straight to top bonus if he didn't take his shirt off.
Yeah.
So for me on Newcastle, like if Bruno G's back, I still think I'd go Bruno over Gordon. But like, do you know he's just going to be definitely straight back?
I think Bruno G is going to have to be straight back. But what if they're going to continue to play? Well, I suppose I suppose Bruno G will obviously just take Voltemada's place, and then Voltemada may just move.
Does
up.
Voltemada go forward?
Does Voltemada go forward? Because that's probably the bigger risk to Gordon than Bruno G. Because I think if you take Voltemada out of the side and just put Bruno G there, I think I'd still play. I think I'd still play Gordon because I think you just get more from Joelinton. You just get more from others that can help Gordon get points. I mean, I should have got him in Gameweek 28, shouldn't I? Really?
Me and you should have both now got him now, mate. So that's 1-1 that one.
Yeah.
Done us both.
Right, final game.
That's the week done.
I say I didn't watch the game, and I saw it was terrible. All I saw was it was 0-0 at half time, and I've got Calvert-Lewin and Thiago playing up top on my team. In fact, the only thing I saw actually, I remember looking at SofaScore after about 10 minutes and seeing that Struijk was booked, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't bring him in. And then he got 5 points and more than any other transfer that I would have made. So yeah, well done, Johnny.
Well done, Johnny. I mean, as far as quality goes, like as far as a Saturday night show, 8 o'clock kickoff, this was a grind. This was a grind for anybody. Anybody that put this on the big telly, you are a single man. That's all it can only be. Or a single lady. One of the two.
I watched. What was I watching? So I watched Gladiators, and then I watched Gladiators Weakest Link after watching Michael McIntyre's Big Wheel game show.
Oh yeah, full on Saturday.
Full on proper.
Full on Saturday.
Full on Saturday. Yeah. For some reason we let the kids stay up till like 9:30 last night. But as soon as the youngest heard that there was, we've completely gone off it. This game's nonsense. Let's get out of it.
1 XG between the pair of them.
Yeah.
And the guy that everybody owns gets DEFCON, and he's a striker.
Yeah, exactly. No, as soon as we told the youngest that Gladiators Weakest Link was going to be on, then we couldn't get her to go to bed. It was impossible. So, yeah.
It wasn't impossible. You just needed to turn on to Brentford Leeds.
Yes.
Out in seconds.
That would have been better. Well, no, I'm glad I watched that instead.
Yeah, I would have watched. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. 400 people. We're done. 400 people. Here
imagine what I'd really like is if someone has just turned in the last sort of 5 minutes just to see the analysis. Oh, Leeds Brentford! I can't wait to hear about this one.
Gladiators.
Gladiators.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Game's done. So, what's the? We don't have a plan yet for the weeks off. We're gonna try and speak to Mark Southerns, but he's a Forest fan, so that's difficult. Plus,
and we don't know if he can or not.
Don't know if he can.
I don't know if he's even allowed to. I don't. And it's just God. How much do you? This is the issue about this 3 weeks is. There's so much up in the air. Like what?
Like, what do you want? What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? What do you want to know?
Tell us
what to talk about, or who to talk to. Like we'll talk to some people. Outside of this, obviously, we're just going to keep chatting in the Discord about some stuff as well. One thing I am going to do for Patreon is I'm going to sit down on. I haven't asked him yet, but we could try and ask him now. But I spoke to Johnny about basically sitting with me while I go through and build something on Solio. And so I want to see how I use it, and he'll look at me like I'm a complete fool, I'm sure, but he will then help me understand better how to actually look at it. And so I think I'm going to do that as a Patreon video, maybe a Patreon stream, but definitely a Patreon video if I can find some time with Johnny to do that over the break.
Well, maybe I was thinking about obviously it's a break, so technically we should be doing the process. The only thing I don't know is Ivan's availability. It just work-wise, I know he's really busy, and therefore I don't know how much availability he's got. Saying that, I might be seeing Ivan next weekend for a quick coffee because I'm near him. So I might at least see him in person. I'm not around next weekend. But Ivan's interested in models. I think it's fascinating to watch Johnny do what he does. So maybe there is something we can try and get them together and look a bit more. But I don't know. I just genuinely, I'm like, how much do we really want to talk about this game over the next 2 weeks when no one knows what they're doing? Doubles. When is the FA Cup? So 2 weeks. 2 weeks today, is it? Must be
4th of April. Yeah, that's 2 weeks.
So we'll have a lot better idea potentially of what's happening after the Sunday.
Yeah.
The 5th.
Yeah. Which is perfect.
So we'll definitely.
That's when my parents are here. So full household. My wife will enjoy me doing a podcast while she's downstairs with the in-laws.
And then Friday the 10th, the Premier League is back.
Yes.
So if we're working back, we're doing our admin on the pod as we like to do. It'd be good if we tried to do 7th or 8th team selection probably a little bit earlier because it's a Friday deadline and potentially there's wild cards in play and all that sort of stuff. So we'll probably try and do a bit earlier. And that hopefully by then we might have some doubles announced. You never know.
Yeah. So immediate suggestions are FPL Nightmare. So we should look to try and get that rearranged.
Yes.
Someone said John McKenzie.
Yes, we should speak to John. He doesn't cover international games, so there's always a chance of John.
Yeah. And Andrew Barton saying appearance on the FPL podcast. Gary did actually ask me. I've said I'm busy on the day that he normally does it, which is a Wednesday, because I do football training with the youngest, so that is difficult for me. Tough. But yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday is tough.
Yeah. But yeah, well, I mean, look, we'll leave it there. Well done to the 70% of you that got a green arrow. We got green arrows as well. Tottenham were terrible. Our FPL teams were okay. And yeah, enjoy whatever you're doing. Enjoy the break. Take some time off, etc., etc. And we will catch you next time.
See you later, mate.